What were the daily offerings made by fire under the law of Moses? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Numbers on Walking Through the Bible. If you have a Bible with you, turn to Numbers chapter 28. We're going to be reading from verses 1 to 8. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Numbers chapter 28, beginning of verse 1. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say to them, My offering, my food for my offerings, made by fire as a sweet aroma to me, you shall be careful to offer to me at their appointed time. And you shall say to them, This is the offering made by fire, which you shall offer to the Lord. 2 male lambs in their first year without blemish, day by day, as a regular burnt offering. The one lamb you shall offer in the morning, the other lamb you shall offer in the evening, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil. It is a burnt offering, which was ordained at Mount Sinai for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. And its drink offering shall be 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. In a holy place you shall pour out the drink to the Lord as an offering. The other lamb you shall offer in the evening. As the morning grain offering and its drink offering, you shall offer it as an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. In this chapter and the next couple chapters, we're again leaving the narrative portion of this book and going to be dealing with some of the laws that God has handed down to Israel. Specifically, in the next 2 chapters, we're going to be dealing with the different offerings that occurred either daily, weekly, monthly, or at the different feasts that occurred throughout the year. In today's reading, we read of the sacrifices that would be offered daily. These instructions were given at Mount Sinai and are likely given again in order to remind Israel that their obligations will continue to the Lord even after they enter the land of Canaan. Just to refresh our memories of what we covered before, we're going to read Exodus 29, verses 38 to 46. Now this is what you shall offer on the altar, 2 lambs of the first year, day by day continually. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer twilight. With 1 lamb shall be 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. And the other lamb you shall offer at twilight, and you shall offer with it the grain offering and the drink offering, as in the morning, for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of meeting before the Lord, where I will meet you to speak with you. And there I will meet with the children of Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. So I will consecrate the tabernacle of meeting and the altar. I will also consecrate both Aaron and his sons to minister to me as priests. I will dwell among the children of Israel and will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them up out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. When we think of lambs being offered, we often think of sin offerings. But here lambs were offered to the Lord every day, in fact twice a day. This would be a regular burnt offering to the Lord. That means that every year, on top of the other sacrifices that were offered, a total of 730 lambs were offered. If you were to count from the time this law was given to Mount Sinai to the time that Jesus died on the cross, and not exclude the time in captivity, we have a total of 1,479 years, meaning that altogether about 1,079,670 lambs were offered. Even if you exclude the period of captivity, over 1 million lambs were offered in daily sacrifices. And then add to that all of the lambs that were killed besides that. All of the blood that was shed, and not one of those sacrifices could remit sins. They could only obtain the promise of forgiveness that would come through Christ. That alone should help Christians appreciate what Christ did for us on the cross and just how powerful that one sacrifice was. When you compare Exodus 29 to Numbers 28, the only real difference is that in Numbers 28 more specificity is given as to the lamb that was to be offered. Exodus 29 said that the lamb was to be one in the first year, while Numbers 28 goes further and says that it is to be a male lamb the first year without blemish. We noted in our study of Exodus that because God is a holy God, all of his sacrifices were to be without blemish. Along with the lamb, a grain offering and a drink offering were to be offered. The grain offering would consist of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil. From our series in Exodus, we can find out what these measurements would represent to us today. An omer was 1/10 of an ephah. So an omer was 2.3 to 3.64 liters, or about 0.6 to 1 gallons. That was to be the amount of flour used. If we were to actually weigh the flour, it would weigh between 1.56 to 1.77 kilograms, or 3.44 to 3.9 pounds. Again, the flour was to be mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil, thus making a roux or a slurry. A hin is about 5.68 liters, or 1.5 gallons, so 1/4 of a hin would be 2.84 liters, or 0.75 gallons. This was the grain offering. The drink offering would consist of 1/4 of a hin of wine, meaning the wine that was used was the same amount as was used for the oil. When this offering was offered in the proper way, at the proper time, and with the proper heart, on the altar burnt offering, it would rise as a sweet aroma to the Lord, meaning that he would accept it and be pleased. Today, God is pleased when we obey him in the proper way and for the proper reasons, meaning that our spiritual sacrifices will rise as a sweet aroma to the Lord as well. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Numbers chapter 28, verses 9 to 15, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.